Hello and welcome back to Constellation Station. Here at Constellation Station, we like to do three things. We like to learn a little bit about constellations, figure out where we can find them up in the night sky, and then design our own constellations using creative techniques in our own home. So today we're talking about our last monster constellation of the month. We've been talking about monster constellations this whole month to celebrate the spooky month of October. And today we end with a pretty simple one. It only has 4 stars. And for my stars, I'm using these glow-in-the-dark spiders. Unfortunately, they don't actually glow in the dark. I tested it, but our 4 spiders are going to act as our 4 stars. There's something else that's kind of unique about our constellation today. Today we're talking about a constellation that we will see in the morning time instead of the evening time. So that means instead of being able to stay up late to right around bedtime, you'll need to stay up all night until about 2 a.m. or sleep and then wake up really early at 2 a.m. to see this constellation up in the night sky. And maybe you know what this constellation might be by the teaser I posted a little bit earlier, but this constellation is actually of a ghost. It's a Chinese constellation. This constellation is from Chinese culture, but the Western version of this constellation is our zodiac constellation of Cancer. So if you're using a star app to find our constellation, you'll want to use Cancer to guide your way to find this constellation. So let's go ahead and start connecting our dots. We're connecting our dots today using these pipe cleaners. So I have some silver pipe cleaners today, and we'll go ahead and start with the bottom of our ghost. So this is one side bottom of our ghost. And today we're going to tuck in our pipe cleaners around our spiders, so we don't need any tape today. I connected my spiders today using these safety pins, so we didn't have to use any tape. So now we're connecting up to the top of our ghost and then back around to the bottom. Now usually here on Constellation Station, we have to use our imagination a lot to be able to picture what we're trying to see up in the night sky. But today we're talking about a ghost, and I think this kind of looks like a ghost, but for some help, I also made my own ghost to use on our Constellation Station. So I'm just going to tuck our ghost in here so we can see how it's supposed to look. I'm going to tuck it in here with my spiders. I lost our pipe cleaner. There we go. So we can see that this is what the ghost is kind of supposed to look like up in the night sky. Now, this ghost is extra spooky. I know a whole month we've been talking about some fun, spooky constellations, but parents who are watching with their kiddos, just so you know, this constellation is a little bit more spooky. So this constellation is all about ghosts, but there's also a star cluster, which is a bunch of stars that are all clumped together. Sometimes they even look like one star to our naked eye, but when we look through a telescope, it looks like a lot more stars. And the star cluster that's in the middle of our ghost constellation, kind of right here below our ghost eyeballs, is called the accumulation of corpses. I know that sounds really scary. It's basically just like a lot of dead bodies. And we don't have to worry too much because this is from a long time ago. These are people that would have died a long time ago, and they died in things like natural disasters. So in Chinese culture, if a lot of people died all at once, sometimes they would bury all of them together. And so this constellation up in the night sky was kind of a sorrowful remembrance of all of those corpses. And then the ghost was a kind of celebration of them moving on to the next place so their soul or their spirit leaving their body and moving on. So even though it's kind of a sad remembrance, it's also kind of nice. It's kind of a happy ending that all of these people ended up in the night sky, and we can celebrate them by finding our ghost constellation up in the night sky. So even though this is a kind of spooky story, I think it has a nice ending. So to find this constellation up in the night sky, you'll want to look in the eastern sky right around 2 a.m. and remember to find Cancer, the western constellation, if you're using a phone app, and you'll be able to find our 4 stars in a diamond pattern, and that's how you'll know that you found our ghost constellation. If you made any monster constellations this month, be sure to share them with us. on Facebook or Instagram, or let us know if you want to discover any other constellations up in the night sky. If you have a favorite constellation that we haven't covered yet, just let us know and we'd be happy to include it on our program. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.